G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today is May the 11th, 2023. This is the US dollar DXY update. I've got the weekly, daily and hourly, and the weekly and the daily are our major trend indicators. We'll go through these individually. So on the weekly, we've got the triple moving average of the price chart. That's moving average 3, 5 and 60. That's in decline. Likewise, the CCI 150 moving average 5 and 50 are also in decline. So it's giving us a bearish signal. Back here during that period, there was a difference between the two indicators, and that was showing a neutral position. And back here, there was some bullish movements throughout those periods. So at the moment, primarily bearish signals on the US dollar on the weekly. On the daily, you can see there that it's turned into a neutral positioning. So avoid taking short trades, even though the weekly is showing short. It's a bit uncertain, and that's also showing us there by the support area. It's bounced off that support area at 10,050 number of times now, and it's still tracing below this diagonal descending trend line. This little retracement went as far as the 38% of this higher timeline here in terms of Fibonacci retracement. So to be more bullish, we need to make sure it breaks above this diagonal trend line initially, then ultimately break above this next level of resistance at where this Fibonacci was at 38%. And that value would be around a 10,550 level. So that's the daily. So avoid going long or short until this more confidently provides a more bearish outlook to align with the weekly. On the hourly chart, again, this is more for trading ideas. Again, you can see there's these diagonal trend lines, and it's still tracking within those trend lines and still coming towards this key support area at 1050. A trading idea, assuming it was both daily and weekly were trending long, would be when the candle breaks above the fractal, like it does in those areas. Does there. And I like taking small positions, small profits. I don't try to take big gains. I try taking small frequent profits. Also, I've got this at the top here. If I zoom out, I've got this back test which goes back to July 21, 2021, and that's showing number of trades made during that period when the share price was appreciating. But notice from here, from this peak, when it hit this resistance, it started declining, and that's where, again, this is a long positioning back test only. I'm not showing you any short positionings, but you can apply the same logic going in a short direction. But from this point down onwards, it was showing the average down process kicked in, so it actually added 1, 2, 3 positions to that contract. We don't use stop losses. Now, the way to avoid that, and obviously that had an effect on your profitability if you were in this trade. The way to avoid that, notice if I move the cursor to where that is, notice on the daily and on the weekly. Let's put the cursor there just before that started. You'll notice there on the daily, it may have just kicked in. So you might have been in one contract initially when it broke to the downside instead of 3. So that's just something you've got to be mindful of. That's why I prefer to trade primarily with the daily and the weekly in the same direction. So at the moment, the weekly is in a short positioning and the daily is still neutral. So probably wait till that breaks to the downside, and by then we should see a break below this support level. To understand this and other trading ideas, reference the links in the description below. To access the Patreon page with exclusive access to stock scans, we scan for stocks, currencies and commodities. Subscribe, like and share the video. Thanks for watching, and see you in a future video.